Hey, Battle Fanatics. This is it. We are at, this is a battle report. My name is Paul Ash. With me is the wonderful Erica Tadeo and the fantastic Mr. David Harris, aka Harris. And we are going to be talking about last Friday's BattleCOM. If you are just tuning in, checking out what this is about, this is sort of a geek news report with a breakdown of the BattleCOM show that happens every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch and YouTube, as well as on Facebook. So if you want to have any questions for us or add to the discussion, please feel free to just type it down in the comments box, and we'll be able to respond to it when we see it there. First off, let's I want to welcome my guests. I'm going to start David. David, how are you doing? This is your first time as one of these live streams. What are you thinking about? What are you thinking? Are you fine? You good? You happy? I have to shut up so we can hear you.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for having me on your show. It's always great talking to you, and especially Erica. And I've been doing as good as one can be during a quarantine. All I can say is thank God for Steam sales and for binging and for streaming services.
Most definitely, and you got the Steam summer sale is happening right now, which is great. Oh, it's over.
Over. It ended. End of a few weeks ago, a week or two ago.
Oh well, hey, if I don't spend money, then I saved even more. That's a great way to look at it. But yeah, David is a longtime friend and also a supporter of BattleCOM. He also is an employee of the Montreal Comic Con. For those of you that wonder why we're still talking about lockdowns and quarantines, we are all based in Montreal. Montreal is one of the hardest hit cities in North America with the pandemic. So social distancing is kind of a must, and that's kind of why BattleCOM became a thing online, because BattleCOM was something that had been happening for 13 years. Is that right? No, for how about maybe, hold it. I'm trying to think. At least 8, possibly 10 years. I'll have to check the stats because I can't quite remember. But Erica Tadeo is a veteran battler from BattleCOM, as well as a fantastic stand-up comic here in Montreal. Welcome, Erica. How have you been?
Hi, Paul. I've been okay. You know what? It's kind of nice to not be stage managing this show. I feel like the pressure is off. I feel very relaxed.
That's true. Erica has stepped up, and she's been the stage manager to kind of help me with the BattleCOM show. So she's there to. Well, I mean, she hasn't showed it this yet because I believe it is Don Campbell has a trademark, but 25-cent chicken wings.
Oh, I cannot pull off that line like Don can. I just can't.
Don is the master. So a shout out to Don Campbell, who doesn't have a good enough Wi-Fi on a Friday nights because he likes to go camping for the weekend. So he cannot be the stage manager, but Erica is keeping the seat warm when she's not battling. And you actually were battling this past Friday.
I've pinch hit a couple times.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Yeah, it's I mean, it's unfortunate. We have had a couple incidents where some of our battlers who were on the schedule had to drop out at the last minute for very important reasons.
Life does happen. So
yeah, life unfortunately does happen. So yeah, I mean, if I'm going to be on the show anyway, I might as well just kind of pop in and be like, "Here are my opinions. Please laugh. Maybe you'll vote for me. I don't know." And sometimes they do.
Yeah, they did get votes for you. You did get votes. So yeah, for those of you who weren't aware, last Friday's show, which is online, if people want to reference them, you definitely have a fan there with Tim Rocliffe saying, "Yay, Erica!" Another one of our regular BattleCOM fans. We had an unprecedented amount of cancellations for last week's show, but the show must go on, and so I just want to kind of say that to put that out there, that we all know that the show is important, but sometimes life does get in the way, and for the balance of the show, we need to have at least 4 comedians, and I have to remain neutral. But Erica was a fantastic fill-in. for 2 of the rounds because we had Justin Shaw filled in for one of the rounds.
Yeah, Justin hopped in for round 1 and then couldn't stay for the rest of the show. But I mean, it's Justin. We can have him on for like 2 minutes and he'll still get laughs. So,
Yeah,
Justin.
that is the thing. Now, David didn't get a chance to watch the show live, but he did get a chance to peruse through it. So the 3 battlefields that happened on last Friday's show were: what is the easiest video game?
Yes.
Who is the best Batman / Bruce Wayne? So somebody who does both things better than anyone else, or the average is better than anyone's. And the final battlefield, Erica, do you remember?
Of course I remember. The final battlefield was what was it again? Oh, yes. Which franchise would make the best spin-off sitcom?
Right. Which movie franchise?
Which movie franchise? Yes.
Yeah, definitely great topics. So the winner of the first, now, well, we should mention who was on the show. His very first BattleCOM ever. It was the Bleezy himself, Vito Blaze / AKA Vance Michelle.
The hilarious Vance Michelle. I love Vance.
I really think he needs to pay his internet provider. Just I don't know, like, just to either get a better internet connection or to pay them for the win of the first round, because he won the first round. Because it was like the comic timing of his dropouts on. Yeah, it just, the way the computer cut him off, it just added to the humor. And again, the videos are up if you want to watch them. So you can go to youtube.com/kickashcomedy. That's where you find it. And as soon as you type in Kick Ash Comedy on YouTube, that's where Tim Roclef is watching from. YouTube will say, do you mean Kick Ass Comedy? And that's when you have to tell YouTube, no. If I meant Kick Ash Comedy, I would have said Kick Ass Comedy. I would have said Kick Ass Comedy. So yeah, thank you, YouTube, for trying to direct people away from my channel.
It's puns, guys. Puns. Don't remove the pun out of the channel name.
Alan LeGros is in the chat. He's there. By the way, yeah, please let us know where you're watching from. Say hello to us all. Alan, you've got some big news that you're going to be announcing very soon. So let us know what it is if you can. We can help share it, or we can save it for a later time. But it's good to see you, and I hope you're doing well. So yeah, the first one, Vance won the first round. He beat out Justin, Karen Joy, and Justin. Yeah, it was, for the final round, it was Justin, because Justin had beaten Tim Riel. So Karen Joy from Ottawa and Tim Riel from Gatineau were the other 2 battlers that was on Friday. So the first round went to Vance. It was just hilarious. We recommend that you do watch that. We'll probably put up the shorter videos on Instagram a little later, which would be Paul Ash Comedy. They'll appear through the week. And then we had the second round. The second round was the best Batman / Bruce Wayne. Actually, okay, David, do you have a video game that you think is the easiest? Because I know you mentioned the Steam sale. You were up on the Steam sale. You've been playing some video games and whatnot during the downtime that we've had. What would you say is the easiest video game?
If we're talking easiest to win or easiest to play? If it's easiest to play,
it's how you define the question.
Honestly, with Pac-Man and Pong were great answers, but I think things like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing could be very easy, because all you need to do is sit, relax, and catch butterflies.
Sounds fun.
Oh, none of the battlers actually took that kind of point of view when they went for it. They were all fairly aggressive. I guess that might be the nature of BattleCOM, is it breeds aggressive people. That's what we are, just angry nerds, just coming out at people. Alan LeGros says absolutely he will do so, referring to the fact that he will be sharing news with us when he can. And yes, he's doing well. Thank you, and all the comedians of BattleCOM, for making things a little brighter. Thank you, Alan. and all the deaf people out there. I don't know why I need to go into sign language to do that. I probably should have subtitles up if I'm trying to reach the deaf audience. So thank you, everybody. I'm not sure. And Timberclef saying Farmville is probably you know what? There's some jokes, definitely some jokes about that, because Farmville is actually harder to stop playing because it gets on your phone. What was that, Erica?
I was gonna ask, is Farmville actually a video game, or is it just a pyramid scheme? Because I feel like I've never seen anyone actually talk about it, but I've gotten invited to play it so many times.
Yes, it's multi-level marketing. It's an MLM. It's one of those things. I think was it turned out it was owned by something Analytica, not Cavendish Analytica. Basically, it was Cambridge Analytica.
Analytica. Can't pronounce things.
Well, yeah, neither can I. But I don't know. It was basically one of those apps that was found to be collecting people's data. Just the basic stats, etc. So yeah, everybody was trying to sign everybody else up on it. It was kind of sad. So the second Battlefield though was who was the best Bruce Wayne Batman? David, did you get a chance to finish that round before we spoil it for you?
I saw some of the answers. It was Michael Keaton, and I think Christian Bale was there. But did anybody choose Kevin Conroy?
No one went for the animated love. So yeah,
and actually, no one chose Christian Bale either.
No one chose Chris. No, because his Batman for the first movie was fairly strong, but his Bruce Wayne was, except for that one party scene.
Yeah, like I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Batman Begins isn't so much a Batman movie as it is a movie about a white guy who goes to Asia to find himself, and there are a million of those guys out in the real world. Give me more Batman.
David, thoughts?
Yeah, I've always felt that Christian Bale is a better Bruce Wayne overall than Batman. In a way that he did play that sort of aloof, goofy playboy who slept during meetings, who went on dates with the Russian supermodels, and just always seemed never to give a care about what's going on. As a Batman, they got the tone right, but it's part of it was the voice and just his attitude wasn't always there. It was less imposing, I thought.
I have to disagree with you on his Bruce Wayne. Just clear up. I found his Bruce Wayne was so obviously faked. Because I guess he was as an actor, his choice was, well, I don't want people believing that I actually am this silly playboy, whatever. So we got to let the audience know that's a nudge, nudge, wink, wink. And so I'm going to do a really shitty job of being Bruce Wayne. That's yeah, I know. I'm calling out Christian Bale with his Hounds of Lawyers and Hounds of Lawyers. Is that a term? Can you have Hounds of Lawyers? Pack of Lawyers.
What? I think we just found that movie franchise sitcom spinoff. It's Bruce Wayne and his lawyer, who's a dog. I'm just gonna go write a spec script real quick and sell it for a lot of money. I'll be right back.
Yeah. All right. Wow, you were so quick at that, David.
As long as the dog's name is Ace, because you have to go true to the comics.
Oh, right, the Bat Hound. And that's definitely. I was a little disappointed that Michael Keaton didn't win on that. But again, it's not about being right. It's about being funny. That's what BattleCOM is about. For me, there's that one scene in the Tim Burton Batman where you see Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne is there beside the mayor while the mayor's giving a speech, and he's not paying attention really because he's the goof off and is very honestly that he's not paying attention. And then the Joker pulls up and gets out of the car. And when he does, that's when the mask drops. And he's no longer, he steps into the Batman persona, and you see it physically come across his face and his body language. And at no point, and then he catches himself. And Twitch has died.
Oh no.
We
Right
aren't
to
live
Twitch?
on Twitch anymore. So I don't know what happened there. So that's going to be interesting. Maybe they thought we were streaming on too many platforms, but we'll try to figure out what that is in the post-op of this. But yeah, so that just watching that happen, that body language happened, and as he catches himself and then he puts the Bruce Wayne mask back on. For me, that's a scene that sort of embodies the duality of Batman Bruce Wayne, and he does it without a costume change. He does it without any makeup or CGI. He just sort of becomes Batman for a moment and catches himself and puts the Bruce Wayne mask back on.
He does that very well. As like you said, he's the best live action Batman out there,
and he's returning. Rumor is.
Yeah,
but yeah,
come on, don't get too excited now.
The Batfleck did a good job for like the '80s sort of style or the Batman, but as Keaton did a great job. The only problem is that whole, do you want to get nuts scene and those kind of, is he wanting to go to a Sunday bar, as a very funny comedian once said.
That was me. Hey.
Oh yeah. I felt that at times he was close to being one of the best Bruce Waynes, but just not the best in my opinion.
Okay, but I felt it also his Batman kind of, with the fact that it was a Tim Burton film and he had a suit where he can turn his neck, he still managed to pull off intimidating. And that was a PG-13 film.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was able to be intimidating in with those caveats, I think kind of shows that he was a great Batman.
Yeah, I feel like everything in the Tim Burton movies just kind of came together in a certain way that we haven't seen in a lot of other Batman movies. There's just like a specific vision that kind of works enough for the character, but also kind of works on its own cinematically that we don't really like see as much. Mind you, I haven't watched a lot of DC Universe films just on principle. I tried watching Man of Steel, and you know what? I'm out. I'm good. If it doesn't have Wonder Woman in it, I am not interested. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe Batfleck's okay, but I will probably never find out.
So Man of Steel was Zack Snyder.
Yeah, probably.
And wasn't he quoted as saying he wanted to have Superman kill someone?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
I think the rumors were there. He was looking for. He got upset that the fans didn't want like their heroes deconstructed, in a way that he wanted to deconstruct the heroes, but we don't want to. It's like you don't want to see these heroes be deconstructed. You want to see these heroes in live action. Yeah, it's like you don't want to see Robin Hood suddenly, become a venture capitalist and not steal from the rich and give to the poor. It's a deconstruction, but not the one that fans are looking for.
Yeah, it's also not something that I think Zack Snyder can pull off, like as an artist.
No.
No.
And Tim Rockcliffe is saying, is anyone looking forward to Pattinson?
Yes.
You know what?
Can we call him Battinson? Because we did Batfleck. Can we call it Battinson?
Absolutely. I am 100% on board with that.
Okay.
You
trademark
know what?
BattleCOM.
Done. Trademark BattleCOM. Give us money. I kind of regret not choosing Pattinson just because I feel like it would have been really fun to argue for a movie that we haven't seen yet. But for someone who has kind of started to now that we've sort of seen the real Robert Pattinson, now that he's kind of settled into what his career is and kind of took that left turn into playing Batman, I just feel like it would be really fun to argue would Robert Pattinson be really good at playing a weird rich guy, like he is in real life? I don't know.
Tim Riel is saying Pattinson. Go ahead, Dave.
People keep forgetting that everyone's thinking, oh, he's going to do a bad job. They're going to do a bad job. I remember, I think it was 2008 or someone said, wait a minute, that person who played in A Knight's Tale and the person who played a gay cowboy as the Joker, boo, boo. Yep. And people went crazy over it. And suddenly,
oh yeah, all those people were wrong.
Nobody brought it up again because he was just such a phenomenal tour de force there. So it's why I always give these people a chance. Like this, let's see how they do. Give them a chance. Because who knows?
Tim Riel says that Pattinson is a genius, and it was also Keaton, Michael Keaton, because most people knew him from like movies like Gung Ho, which is so problematic right now, and Mr. Mom, and these silly kind of goofball comedies. And they were going, that's going to be Batman, that's going to be totally blow. And then it was one of the top, it was the top grossing film that year, I think, if I remember correctly.
I read stories that people actually went to see other movies just to see the trailer of the Batman. I mean, for all the youth people out there, this is before YouTube and before the internet.
So Tim Riel, sorry, he changed his photo avatar just to make sure that we have the right one. So he was using his social. So Tim was just concerned about his own looks.
Hi, Tim's ego. Hi.
Did you say hi, Tim's ego?
Yes. It's okay. He can take it.
He can take it. He's a fantastic battler, and he's going to be back on BattleCOM soon enough. So the winner of the second round, well, that was Vance as well.
It was. Vance won 2 rounds just because
his very first time out of the gate battling, but it was a tag team match. It was the Bad Connection and Vance totally won that battle. It was just all of a sudden it was like we were half guessing sometimes what he was saying, and it was just making us laugh because he gets so worked up, and then the frame would freeze, and then it'd be at the end, and he'd be going, yeah. And okay. He obviously said something very important. It must have been funny. He wins. Get the votes.
I mean, that's the rules of BattleCOM, right? Just be entertaining. Vance is never not entertaining.
Exactly. Entertaining is the key to a BattleCOM. So the final battle round was which movie franchise deserves to have a TV show sitcom spinoff. I can't really remember who won that one.
You know what? I'm gonna answer this one. It was oddly enough won by the same person who suggested it as a battlefield. And she is me. So I know things are a little awkward. I just kind of suggested that battle to you, figured you'd keep it in your pocket for when you needed it, and then just put it into the show right away. Obviously I wasn't in the lineup of the show, and then things happened. Things changed, and then I was. Yes. So here I was arguing my own
your own topic of the week, and that's one of the things for anyone that's watching, or even if you're watching this on repeat. What we also do is BattleCOM. Like I said, it's a Geek War of Comedy game show. So we take people's suggestions for battlefields, and the key thing to remember for the battlefields that we have is it can't be a yes no. It has to be multiple choices, so every battler can have their own choice that they'll use to argue in the debate. It's not really a debate because debates determine who's right. This is not about determining who's right, because we watched Fox News and we found out being right isn't all that important, and it's about being entertaining. So that's what we aim to do with the show of BattleCOM. And so you won that one. What your choice again, Erica, was?
My choice was X-Men. I had sort of, based on the idea, literally came to me in one of those, when you're like asleep but not asleep, like half asleep, half awake, and your mind is in a very strange place. I like half dreamt of just like this teacher sitcom at Xavier School, and all the X-Men mutants are teachers, and for some reason that just seemed like a hilarious concept. Thus, the idea for the battle was born. And that's obviously what I argued. So I pretty much just spent that entire round just pitching the sitcom.
And the thing is, I don't know when it happened in the show or who actually said it, but somebody referred to it as X-Men head of the class.
Oh yeah, that was one of our commenters, which is perfect because that's the exact era of sitcom that I was like imagining it being. And even though I have never seen an episode of Head of the Class, I know that that's like exactly the level of quality that I was imagining this show to be.
There's a lot of people who blame that sitcom for ruining Billy Connolly.
Snap.
He played the teacher. That was his American debut Was
Oh,
he?
no.
I don't know if his debut, but that was his big American break. Was he played the teacher in Head of the Class, and then they brought in Dr. Johnny Fever, I think, for in later seasons. And now we have probably the most controversial comment from a viewer right now. And Dave, I'm going to give you time.
Most or least controversial?
All right, David, David has asked for a rebuttal time for all the hatred that Cyclops has received. David.
First, I will fully admit I am a Cyclops fan. I know why I see saying why people always say this. The first thing I have to say why Tim Riel got it wrong was that they are not laser beams, they're concussion beams, and I'm sounding very nerdy and geeky here, but this is the perfect place to say it. I think the reason why nobody likes Cyclops is because the movies and the shows did not do him right. The best way to look at it is the Captain America First Avenger and Avengers and Age of Ultron, Captain America wasn't the coolest until Winter Soldier came by, then everyone said, wow, that's who Captain America is. Cyclops is meant to be that he's a team leader, but he's in charge of like a band of mercenaries going out to stop all the threats. He can't be cool, he can't be serious, and it's the kind of person who he'll go to demigods Norman Osborn and saying, stay away from us or we will rebuttal. We have fought everything from cosmic powers to mutant hate, to hate groups and Nazis to our own kind to try and survive. Get off our case because we can show you what we can do. But all they do is just make him scowl, get jealous because Wolverine is there, and scream out Jean. Which there's more to him than that.
So basically you're saying that Cyclops is a good character, except when he's not.
Except when the movies don't know what to do with him.
He's saying the portrayals in the movies do not carry the range of the character, which the character has existed for a long time. Shout out to Ryan Stick, who does YTV and me. Ryan, if you want to list your other podcasts that you do, and remind me of the time so we can tell everybody who is watching or watching this in repeat. And he's saying Ed Brubaker and Mark Miller are why Cap is cool.
Yes, correct.
And Tim Riel says you can clearly see the concussion stream coming from his dumb glasses, and he missed. Just look at your target, David.
I mean, in this case, Magneto can easily just take Wolverine, throw him into the sun, and be done with. But
exactly, it's all about like anything that's in a comic book. It comes down who's going to win. It's whoever the writers write as the winner. So Tim Riel obviously wouldn't give Cyclops any love if he was writing it, but if David Harris was writing it, then no one could stand against him.
Yeah, to a degree.
It would be the Cyclops show. Hooray.
I again, the X-Men Head of the Class seems to that one hits me as that's a good title and a good format. So Erica won the last round. So that is up on YouTube. You can actually even on Facebook on the BattleCOM TV fan page, you can check it out and watch the repeat there. It was a hilarious show and we had some fantastic people on it. As I said, there was Karen Joy, there was Erica Tadeo, there was Justin Shaw, Tim Riel, and Vance Michelle. So a fantastic show. We've got another BattleCOM coming up, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But before we get to who's on that show, and maybe mention what the battlefields are, let's go to our people on our panel right now and ask them what you are either looking forward to or what you've been spending a lot of time with playing. And if you're watching this, hit the like button. That really helps with the algorithms and helps grow us as a channel and helps us get recognized. So hit the likes, the love, the guffaws, whatever it is. And if you're enjoying it on YouTube, hit subscribe And if we were still on Twitch, we'd ask you to subscribe as well, because we're trying to grow that channel as well. And so, David.
Yes.
What is it that you're looking forward to coming out? And what has kind of maybe eaten your time up a little bit?
The things that I'm looking forward to are, there's at the end of the year, it's Cyberpunk 2077, which is an open world cyberpunk video game that's going to apparently done by the same people who did The Witcher 3. And just to add a bonus, Keanu Reeves is playing a character in it, and his likeness.
Yeah, with that metal arm, so he's kind of Winter Soldier-ish.
Cybernetic Keanu Reeves. I think I can't remember his name, but it's something like Johnny Silverhand. I think he plays another character named John.
Another.
The other thing that which is a great topic for BattleCOM, which Keanu Reeves John is the best. The other thing I'm looking forward to is another thing called Berserker, which is is coming out. It's a combo coming out, written by Keanu Reeves, written by and also with a likeness of him, which apparently it's going to and it looks pretty cool.
So it has no relation to the manga by the same name.
From what I've read, I can't be too certain, but I'm not the biggest manga person, manga/anime connoisseur.
All right. Actually, I mean, I don't scour the news as much as I probably should, considering what I'm doing. But I actually hadn't heard of that one. So thank you for dropping some knowledge.
It's the first issue is coming in October.
Okay.
And besides for that, I'm looking forward to The Boys and Doom Patrol.
When's the Boys season 2 hits? What?
I've lost
August. Sorry, I talked over you there, David.
I've lost all track of time, so unfortunately, it's I have to look it up. I'm very sorry about this.
All right, Erica, if you want to tell us what you're looking forward to, or what's been eating some of your time during the lockdown.
Sure. I mean, I oddly enough, I have been watching a lot of sitcom reruns, so maybe that's where that battle came from. I'm pretty sure that a couple weeks ago, Tim had dinged me for still having regular television, but been watching some regular television. I feel like you can't watch like classic sitcoms or like, the sitcoms of your youth on a streaming service. You got to watch them with commercials. It's just like, I don't know. That's just the way that God intended. Like, I've tried watching Friends on Netflix. You can't.
All right. September 4th for The Boys. And Tim Rookcliffe, he knows Tim Riel's answer to the best John very, very easily. Erica, do you care to guess what Tim Riel's answer to Keanu Reeves' best John?
It's going to be either John Wick, or he's going to find a way to like tie it into the unicorn. Not really sure which one.
I thought that he and the fact that John Wick is actually Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That if you go back to the older BattleCOM episodes, you'll see Tim Riel has argued the fact that is actually a continuation of the same character.
I think I heard there's a pre-production of the Continental, which is set in the John Wick universe, from what I've been hearing.
No relation to the SNL sketch. Okay.
No relation.
Erica, I would recommend. I imagine there's a streaming service out there that has it. Trying to find Head of the Class. I'm
gonna try and find it.
Yeah,
there's got to be some way I can find an episode somewhere.
Yeah, because one of the things was that they very much toned down Billy Connolly from being Billy Connolly.
Why?
I know it's like I want to buy a Mercedes, but I want it to be a compact car. So that's it. But the question, Tim was saying Cougar Mellencamp is being the best John, but it's the best John as played by Keanu Reeves. So it's characters that Keanu Reeves have played named John. Which one would be the best?
Listen, they haven't made a John Cougar Mellencamp biopic yet, so who knows?
Emphasis on yet. There we are. It's yeah, I suppose he is younger than him by a little bit. So I suppose it wouldn't be too late. Though some of the makeup in the trailer for Bill and Ted's doesn't look good when they're trying to make Keanu Reeves look younger.
I mean, Keanu Reeves is already relatively ageless. Like, he's aged maybe 5 years in the last 20 years. So, like, I feel like any attempt to fix that is just kind of gonna, it might not work.
It's also, I think, still in that pre-production era where not everything is 100%. So we might still have to wait till the final thing, because they'll always add improvements.
It is they do have a release date, and they have put out the trailers, so that's what I'm judging off of is the trailers. But then again, there was a trailer for Spider-Man 2 that involved the Twin Towers, so you never know.
You never know.
By the way, it's kind of, I think it's a great throwback to get Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk 2077, which is the video game, because I think the very first Cyberpunk movie I'm aware of was Johnny Mnemonic, and that actually had Keanu Reeves playing Johnny.
Snap.
Oh, I'm sorry, we cut you off there, David.
Yeah, playing another John. I mean.
And Tim Riel is saying Keanu, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ryan Reynolds, and Paul Rudd are all immortals. Damn, that seems right.
You know what? Ryan Reynolds has begun to age just a little bit, and I think it's probably he gets his energy from being Canadian, and the fact that he spent so much time in the U.S. is just not doing him any favors. But that's just a fan theory. The fan being me.
And Joseph, I'm trying to think what it's called, the Red Light Project. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, actually, you can check out some of the stuff that he has done with independent producers, actually independent artists. He helped connect a lot of people and is producing it. And it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt and his brother, and I'm trying to remember the name of the project, but it's
called Hit Record.
Hit Record. Thank you very much, Erica. So that is also has generated a bunch of really cool and different things. If you haven't seen it, with Ryan Johnson directed Brick. And Tim Riel is helping, reminding us that it's Hit Record. Thank you, Tim. Yeah, Brick is. Have either of you seen Brick?
Yes.
I don't think no.
Oh, it's great.
It was written. I think it was written and it was directed by Ryan Johnson. It's pre-Looper, and it is a film noir set in a modern or 80s, maybe 90s. Sorry, high school in Southern California.
Oh.
And so a lot of the speak has kind of like film noir slang.
It does. It's awesome.
And they do a sense of isolationism that you feel as you remember as a teen by having these shots, these wide shots with just two people in them, but then you hear the noise of the crowd. Like it's economic for shooting, definitely, but it really kind of adds to it. And it is Lucas Haas is in it as well as the Pin. He does a brilliant performance as a guy who's a little older than high school, but he's, the drug kingpin. And it's just some of the slang is in there. Tim Riel saying Brick, the movie, they talk weird. It's the film noir sort of accent that goes with that. John Krasinski could also be added to the immortal list.
Yes, because he can.
He's just getting more and more healthy. He's bigger every time I see him. It's I'm dying. Every time I see these guys being healthy, I just feel like I'm shrinking and collapsing in upon myself as I go into the morass that is my life. And I'm a very happy person, actually. Sorry. Yes, David pointing out the baldness that I'm beginning to feel, even with my COVID hairdo.
funny story is that John Krasinski was at, not funny story, but John Krasinski was almost bound to play Captain America.
Yes,
But
we know that.
of course, the rumor is that when he saw Chris Hemsworth and his build, he just got a little bit self-conscious and no, I don't think I'm capable.
No way. I didn't know that part of the story.
Which also makes it a little bit funny because I heard that Emily Blunt was slated to play Black Widow, but had a contract dispute.
Yeah, she was. It was because of that Gulliver's Travels movie that she did with Jack Black. Yeah, that is the reason why Emily Blunt didn't get to play Black Widow and make a whole bunch of money in the MCU, was because of Gulliver's Travels with Jack Black.
Yeah. There's things that I will blame Jack Black for. I won't say I blame him for, but he's never. I've not been a Jack Black is somebody whose fame sort of I don't understand. I get it that some people really like him. But other than The Hangover and Tropic Thunder, I don't think you don't enjoy him in either of those?
No, he wasn't in The Hangover. That was Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, Zach Galifianakis, you're right.
And he was in Tropic Thunder, but not in The Hangover.
Right. Yeah. No. You were right. It's great. I can name one film that I really like Jack Black in. Maybe hold it. High Fidelity, because he was such a small part of that.
I feel like that was when he had like the most Jack Black energy, like given his small amount of screen time. But you're okay with that one?
I'm okay with that one because it wasn't like him mugging to the camera, which is what it feels like he does so often, like Nacho Libre, like The Pick of Destiny.
Oh yes.
HSD, The Pick of Destiny.
Yeah. All right. So here I've just ended my career in Hollywood.
You know what you would either love or hate? There was sorry to talk about TV again, but there was a TV special, I want to say like a couple months ago, where it was literally called something like Jack Black's Escape Room. And Jack Black just had a bunch of his famous friends, like all these TV stars, basically just play like a series of escape rooms. And he was the host. So he's just like sitting back from his lair, like wearing an ascot, doing an evil villain voice and just like giving them hints and like doing evil maniacal laughter from time to time while you just watch like Lisa Kudrow trying to solve all these puzzles. And it was bizarre, but like oddly hilarious. I feel like that was the role that Jack Black was born to play, was himself.
So maybe he could be a villain. Tim is saying that I've named all the wink at the camera movies he was in. Maybe I couldn't picture which character he would be, but if they were to do a live action Venture Brothers, maybe. And Tim Rookcliffe says he loved Jack Black in The Holiday.
I was going to.
And watch Bernie. Okay, I'll have to take a look for Bernie. And Tim Rookcliffe and David Harris are on the same wavelength. We sort of cut David off a little bit.
The Holiday is one of my favorite rom-coms. It's great.
All right. So do you guys want to talk about what's coming up next week, or do you have other things that you want to mention? Don't forget, I did mention this on the last Battle Report. The end of the month on the 31st, that is after you watch BattleCOM, you can start watching the Umbrella Academy Season 2. And August is going to see we got another review for Bernie saying it's very good. It's Oscar worthy. Holy crap. Okay, maybe I've just completely underestimated Jack Black. But in August, the New Mutants allegedly should be hitting theaters, and theaters currently, well, the fact that they're still committing it to a theater release makes me believe the studios believes in it. They're not just trying to dump it off on a streaming service. Though movie ticket prices have all been slashed for the theaters that have opened across North America. And there's supposedly you're supposed to be doing social distancing while you're in those theaters. But the cleaning record of movie theaters kind of makes me a little nervous. So I'm not sure, but I am I have high hopes for that film, and I've seen another new trailer, which just kind of I think looks really good. With magic has the final line in the trailer. It's perfect. But then again, I'm a New Mutants fan from way back, and I remember when Bill Sikowitz drew the Ghost Bear storyline, and that was yeah, that was comic book as art. And what could I recommend? I recommended The Old Guard last week as something I watched. One of my roommates is making his way through Community, and that I think he's on Community fatigue. As great as it is, as he wants to go, he's beginning to go. Why haven't they written better things for Chang?
Yeah, I can see that.
And David has something to add.
The one thing I just have to talk about to add is, as you know, Community is phenomenal, but people have to keep. I'll talk about it nonstop. But is Doom Patrol?
Mm-hmm.
Seasons. It's one of DC's best TV series, and it is the dark and gritty, but not in the sense. It's very mature and very serious, and dealing with the biggest villains and issues are their own insecurities. And it's phenomenal by Grant Morrison's run, so it's very weird and very like crazy, but it's with Brendan Fraser, Matthew Bomer, Diane Gurro, who played in Orange is the New Black, Timothy Dalton, and also the writers are frequent Twitter often and will respond to your comments. So if you want to talk about it, you can. It's Doom Patrol Season 2 is currently it's in the works, right? Not in the works, but it's on episode 7 now, I think.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't started season 2 yet. I kind of still I started season 1 and then I kind of dropped off, and then they announced season 2 and I was like, oh right, I need to watch that show. And somehow I've been home for 4 months and it still hasn't happened. What's wrong with me?
I really enjoyed them when they showed up in Teen Titans, but then I got really turned off by Teen Titans, and I think that's why I didn't watch the Doom Patrol. Go ahead, David. Sorry.
Doom Patrol, it diverts a little bit from that episode, but with the same characters. But it makes it takes so very seriously, and it's not all just angst. It's actual. There is so much depth to it. It is my favorite show currently on TV now. TV or stuff like that. It's.
I take that as a very strong recommendation from David, because I trust David's taste and his geek knowledge. So for those watching out there, think about that. If we're going to talk about Friday night's BattleCOM, which is going to be season 1, episode 9, we're treating comedy as a sports event. So that's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday night. The lineup. You guys ready for the release of the lineup? Erica already knows.
I am so excited.
She is the stage manager. We're going to see the return of 2 fan favorites. So Lucy Gervais is going to be facing off against Justin Shaw, and that's going to be that in itself. It's got to be throwing some wild punchlines left, right, and center. But joining the fray is going to be a BattleCOM veteran, Joshua Clark. So Joshua Clark is going to be coming back. This is going to be his first online BattleCOM. The man is a fantastic writer and a great nerd. So he definitely knows his stuff. And the 4th person doing the show is AC Valiente, who is a stand-up comic performer in Montreal. He's also half of the production staff of the Otaku comedy show. And it's going to be a pleasure to see him tackle BattleCOM, because I know he's such a smart writer. It is going to be fun. David is just rubbing his hands together. What's your thoughts on that lineup, David?
It's going to be great. I've seen a lot of them, and it's going to be good to see AC there, because I see what he posts on his Facebook and his sort of quarantine workouts and stuff like that. Are just...
that was brilliant. Yeah, check out was it Facebook or Instagram that he was doing the quarantine workouts? So he took a picture every day of him doing his quarantine anime workout.
I saw on Facebook, so
it was great.
Erica, your thought on the lineup?
I am super excited for this lineup. I mean, anyone who's been watching BattleCOM in the last few weeks knows that you can expect great things from Lucy and Justin. I mean, Justin's always got bits. He's going to do something super fun. He might eat a tomato as a hand fruit again. Who knows? Lucy was just like built for the negative round. Like, she's so sassy, and I love that about her. And like, you never know what she's going to say. So I'm like always excited to have her on the show. She's so great for BattleCOM. AC is awesome because he's like super nerdy, like so nerdy, totally knows his stuff. And as a comic, he's game for anything. I'm sure he's going to come prepared. Super excited to see what he's going to bring to the table. And Joshua, now, Paul gave him a pretty good intro, but Paul, you did not mention one thing, and that is that Joshua is not only a comic, he also has a background in music. He is an accomplished, what's the correct term, battle rapper. Yeah,
he
like
won the end of the week, which is week was spelled WEAK, which was an international competition. He actually went to Switzerland for.
Yeah. So like, sorry, Paul, to cut you off, but like you referred to BattleCOM as like the rap battle of comedy game shows. So Joshua was basically built for this. I remember I haven't faced off against him much, but one time that I did, he said something that was completely inaccurate in the negative round, but annihilated me. Like, I was so sad. So yeah, it's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, and BattleCOM is not about being right; it's about being entertaining. And the battlefields that they have to face off against on this coming Friday is what movie would make the best RPG or role-playing game setting? What would be the best franchise for what would be the best franchise crossover romance? So take one character from one movie franchise versus another character from a different movie franchise and have that as a romance. What would be the best characters? And the final battle for this Friday is what is the easiest game to cheat at? And I'm going to be watching whoever wins that round very closely if I ever play a board game with them in the future. Go ahead, David.
I really hope somebody chooses BattleCOM for that.
Tim? All right. Golden Globes USA 2013 nominee Golden Globe Best Performance by an Actor in a Motion Picture. Oh, wow. So that is the references for me to get me to watch Bernie, so I will no longer be annoyed by Jack Black. I won't consider him to be a detriment whenever I see his name in the credits. Do we got any parting thoughts before we're gone? Any further recommendations?
No recommendations. I'm mostly just sad because I was out running errands and I saw a bag of chips with a picture of Wonder Woman on it, and that bag of chips is just a few months too early, guys. Just sad about movies right now. But excited for BattleCOM.
Yay! Tim is just copy and pasting the stuff from IMDb about the show. Pia Zadora won a Golden Globe, so I think the Golden Globes might have to be discounted as a good reference.
The thing that annoyed me most about the Golden Globes is that for, I think, 1 year, Best Musical or Comedy was Green Book, and Best Drama was Bohemian Rhapsody. And it's Bernie, and it was nominated, but it's not a comedy. I went in it looking, thinking, oh, it's a comedy, probably like a dark comedy, but it was full on drama. I think they saw Jack Black. Oh, it must be funny. It's a good movie, but
all right. And Tim Riel is saying he loves us all. It's been a great report, and I want to thank my two guests on tonight, Erica Tadeo, David Harris. If you ever want to be a guest on this, send me a message, and we'll bring you on as a guest to deconstruct what happened on the previous BattleCOM and hype what's coming up. My name's Paul Ash, and I love you all as well. Bye.
Bye.